Bienvenue à cette séance ordinaire numéro 11 du 28 novembre 2023. Donc, ouverture de la séance, adoption de l'ordre du jour, est adopté tel quel. Donc, regular meeting of number 11, number 28, 2023. And welcome to this meeting. So, opening of the meeting, adoption of the agenda. The agenda is adopted as is. The minutes, so 3.11 reading and adoption of the minutes of meeting number 10, October 24th. So that's adopted as is. I didn't receive any notification. Lecture et adoption du procès verbal numéro 10 du 24 octobre. Donc, il est adopté tel quel. 3, 2, 1. Arrondissement de Lennoxville, le comité consultatif urbaniste, le dépôt du procès verbal. Donc, c'est le procès verbal du 11 juillet. So 321 is the Borough of Lennoxville Planning Advisory Committee, the tabling of the minutes of July 11, 2023. And so we're up to point number 4, which is the public question period. Donc, on est rendu au point numéro 4. Donc, la période de questions des personnes présentes. Like, it's not a real big procedure. You lift your hand, you state your name, the street you live on, and then you ask your questions. Donc, vous levez votre main, vous demandez vos questions en nommant votre nom et la rue dans laquelle vous êtes pour l'enregistrement parce que c'est enregistré. Fait que, est-ce qu'il y a des questions? Do you have any questions from council? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Heather Gilchrist, I live at 63 Speed Street. There's an apartment building exactly behind my house. And these snow clearing people have always shoved the snow onto my property. It's wooded area, so it's easy for them because it's a very small parking area where they're clearing. It's just easier to go on our property. And I've lived there forever. But I've always put up with it because there's never been a fence there. So I just put up with it and just grumbled about it. But a few years ago, I decided to put up one of those orange plastic fences in the fall.
And fences, right?
Yeah, those orange would be wider though. And I did it myself. It's almost about 60 feet. And I have pictures of the other two. I have 3 copies. And I decided to take a picture last fall. Because they weren't respecting it. They're still pushing snow right through the fence and breaking it. So I decided last fall, I took a picture of the fence, so I put it up. And the second page is in the spring. They were good all winter, but towards the end of the winter, they just push the snow right through the fence because there's a lack of area. But it's not my problem. You know, I'm sorry, but I paid for that property, it's not there. Anyway, so this fall, I did the same setup. And I took a picture yesterday. The first snowfall, I know it's heavy snow, but they push snow right up to the fence. And I have a sign that says, you can look at the 3rd page. Private property, no snow dumping is permitted. And he put the snow right up to the fence, and he put the snow on top of the fence. Like you can see the picture, and he's already gripped the fence. And probably by the next snowfall, he'll push it right through. And I just want them to respect the property line. You know, it's just part of respect. I'm sure the fence is there. I'm sure they know what the fence is. It's there for a reason. I didn't do it because it had nothing to do.
So this apartment building is
it's
privately owned? No, it's privately owned?
I don't know anything about it.
Well, it's
it's just
privately owned, and the contractor who pushes the snow is hired by the.
Yeah.
So all I can tell you in this case, and you're not the only one. I mean, it's with other cases I found also. You know, sometimes it's water. Somebody has a lot of water that comes from one of the grounds, goes to the other. So the bylaw says that you're responsible for your own stuff, like your snow, your water, anything like that.
Yeah.
But when it's between the city and you, for example, or any citizens really. But when it's between citizens, the city doesn't get involved in that because it's a dispute between citizens. So my recommendation to you is that I know there's a mediation service. I think there's pamphlets downstairs on our things there that we can there. Okay. There's pamphlets, a mediation. In other words, they'll contact and they'll try to mediate between you. There's that as a solution. Then maybe explore putting a real fence because I know there's.
No, I don't want to do that because you know what's going to happen. They're going to damage it.
Yes,
and then they won't want to pay nothing. Small claims court and.
Yes, but.
But
But I know that putting a fence, there's a shared expense. You can send them the bill, they have to pay. So I'm just giving you options. I'm not telling you what to do here. I'm just trying to tell you what I know about these type of situations and what's normally done. But of course, the mediation is always one way to go around it, where at least there's somebody talking between the.
The thing is, there shouldn't be any mediation. There should be one phone call to them and say, leave the property line, leave the fence alone. And they also blew snow onto my property last winter. I wasn't there when it happened.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've seen it. I've had it at the motel there, and we had to go through these motions and force them to transport their snow.
Yeah, that's
so somewhere's in there. Like I said, I mean, mediation avoids lawyers because that's the other option. So
$20 fence every winter, no.
That's the only solutions I can think of, to help you out here. So because this as procedural, the city doesn't get involved in disputes between neighbors because it's got nothing. It's not property of the city or anything.
The thing is, somebody told me that probably the owner of the building has no idea this is going on.
Probably.
So maybe a phone call to them and let them know. But I don't know who to phone. If you must have records here that there's a contact person.
That's all available online if you want to.
Please build it.
Yeah, you can build a Sherbrooke carte interactive. You click on the lot, you get the lot number, and you get the information where you can try to get the phone number afterwards, because you can get the tax information here. It's a stepping stone though, but you have to get the lot number, and then you get the tax report.
Okay.
And the information's on there. If you ever need assistance with that, you can always go see our Secretary of Service downstairs.
Well, I don't get along with her.
Oh.
No, she has an attitude.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
You can contact me about that.
Yes.
Your last answer.
What is your name?
André Blais.
Okay.
He's our director. But if you need assistance to reach these guys, he can help you.
Where are you located?
Same number here.
Yeah.
Same number 5699388.
Okay.
André Blais.
Okay.
So he can't help you more than that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Oui.
Yes, sir.
Bonjour, mon question.
Votre nom? For the report.
Yeah, say your name
and the street you live
on. Jasper 12, 2600, blue color.
Bishop's University.
Yeah. That's on.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Oui, pourquoi au Conseil de ville, vous avez voté contre le projet de piste cyclable hivernale sur la route?
Ça, c'est mon choix personnel que j'ai fait lorsqu'on a démonté ce projet-là. Puis, je trouvais que c'est un projet difficile pour un demi-million qu'on investissait. Puis aussi, le fait qu'on a beaucoup de peu budgétaires dans beaucoup de projets. Donc, je trouvais que c'était un des projets qui aurait pu ne pas exister parce que c'est un gros défi. Parce que un des objectifs, c'est d'économiser sur les GES, les gas emissions. Puis je trouvais que ça va en générer aussi parce que ça va être exigeant comme projet parce que quelqu'un qui se blesse en vélo, tu sais, la ville est responsable. Donc, c'était la raison pourquoi j'ai voté contre. Any other questions? D'autres questions publiques? Yes, sir. You didn't register, you have to sign.
I have.
Okay, good, thanks.
There you go. You're too busy
Great.
doing a great job. You didn't notice me coming. So there's one thing yesterday, I noticed that at lunch, the main street was done. I walk, you guys know me, and I walk everywhere. And College Street was not done until like 2 o'clock on both sides. And I went over to Warren and Wilson. There's some guy there and his little machine plowing a corner of a street. college wasn't done. So I called the right number and there's like excellent service. I'm sure they did something about it, but I mean, yeah, anyway, so that's a complaint. Like if their machine broke down or whatever, doesn't the guy from Warren get called over to college first instead of doing Warren? So that's my
Yeah,
I just want to say.
coordination required.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I did about the same inquiry yesterday. And the few answers I got is that we have new personnel. You know, there's still there's still lack of employees in the city. So we have new employees.
Geez, I'll work for $80,000 a year. You give it to me. I'll make sure the streets are clean.
But the point is that we have new employees, they have to learn, and sometimes they put them
No,
away.
but the employees aren't, there has to be a system. You get up, you do these streets, a new employee that says.
Well, notice that,
Right?
notice that I'm not giving you excuses, I'm giving you the answer that I got.
Okay.
It doesn't
I'm
mean
sorry.
that we're not
I'm
proceeding.
sorry, Bob.
And that doesn't mean we're not proceeding at different levels to try to improve the system, that's for sure. Because it was the first snowfall of the year, and it was a heavy snowfall, so maybe for new employees it was harder. So
Well, I would suggest to the new employees, start at the top and move down.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to move this and what.
Well,
Just saying.
the priority normally is school areas.
No, but I'm annoyed by that
That
because,
took a while. too.
yeah, I'm annoyed by that. Now there's a biking priority, I heard. That's annoying. So I won't debate it with you. I registered my comment.
Yeah.
And another one is on the corner of Beaudry and College. Up here, of course, you guys know it. And so there's a garage park that's been taken down. I'm assuming that's been sold as another lot for another building. I'm assuming that. Are they allowed to park cars all the way around? Because they've come right around onto College with gravel, and so apparently when we go up College, there's going to be 3 cars, 4 cars there, and cars around. Is that legitimate? I have a hard time believing the College part can have. I get the Beaudry part can have cars, but the College, because there's only spots for like 4 or 5 cars on Beaudry. That building's a huge building.
Are you talking street parking?
No, I'm talking about parking.
Parking at a specific address?
It looks like, yeah, so
Kind
if
of.
you look, Claude, if you go up Beaudry,
Yeah.
at College, you get to Beaudry.
Yeah.
Well, before you get to Beaudry, there's now, they've plowed out stuff.
The
for
building
cars
on
to
the
park.
right? The building on the right?
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
yeah, they plowed out spots, there's a big cable
They
there.
submitted a request to demolish
It
the
just
garage.
cannot be,
And the thing is, if you go further up the College, there is such parking there on the street, but it's not
no,
supposed
it's not
to.
on the street,
No, I mean, on the street side.
Yeah, well, but
Opposite
that's
to behind the
fine.
building.
Well, that's fine, I get what you're saying, because there's one building there, there's no wraparound, of course they have to park the cars in front. But as a corner street, are you allowed to wrap around the whole building with cars? My question.
No, it's probably not finished. T'avais-tu quelque chose à ajouter?
It's about visibility with
Well, I
the
mean, it's
building.
about beautification, visibility, like we're not a parking garage community.
Mhm.
We're a nice little community that has care about aesthetics and where we live and beautification and all these things, and having cars everywhere, it's never been my big thing. I mean,
What I'm hearing from you, and I hear it, is that there's a exaggerated quantity of car in front.
No.
Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Well,
Just,
it's where the new building
Yeah.
is going up on Beaudry.
you know, but what
And
we
because
accept.
he was losing parking spots in back, he asked permission to be able to park the cars in the front.
Yeah.
Because there's another apartment building going up beside that building, and there was a lack of parking spots in behind. So he asked permission to be able to put some cars on the front lawn.
temporarily.
No,
It's gonna be a
permanently.
permanent parking.
Okay, fine on the Beaudry side. What I'm talking about
Is
is
on
the College Street
Yes,
side.
yes.
Is that
Yes.
been
Yes.
accepted and
Yes.
by the Sherwood? It's accepted
Yes.
that.
The council here. And that's why I'm asking the question, is there an exaggeration of cars parked in front? Because I remember the car, what they submitted us was a reasonable request. That's where the difference is. So what I would do with that is that if you find that there's an exaggerated.
Well, exaggerated, what does exaggerated mean? I mean, 6 cars on, I mean, if there's room for 4 cars on College Street going up, 4 cars and then 6 cars, and then another building, what are they gonna do with their cars? I mean, do we care about what our main streets look like?
Well,
Are they supposed to be all just
Like I
lines
said-
of cars all the way up and down?
but like I said, we accepted something that seemed reasonable.
Well,
So-
I mean, there has to be some plans, there's no
May I,
scheme, there's a
May I
plan.
finish?
Yeah,
May I
okay,
finish, please?
yeah,
So what we accepted seemed like a reasonable request. It wasn't exaggerated. What we can do is send the inspector and find out if he's respecting what he asked for.
okay, yeah, because he's allowed to just start plowing anywhere and.
That's
again,
my
what
point.
we-
Somewhere in there,
what we
it
agreed,
was-
I agree.
Yeah, it was a
Sorry, I'm
restricted
really
area.
messed on it, but
It looked good.
it annoys me because College, you know, College Street isn't like, it's not downtown Montreal, right? We're Lennoxville.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
But
I hate to see
the
cars
real
everywhere.
reason why we couldn't refuse parking in front, because we could have refused parking in front, is the fact that it's elsewhere on College. So there's a precedent, and, you know, if we refuse that, then why the other guys, you know, so.
Well, I'll comment on that again. I would like to see if there's frontal parking on College on the house that goes on McManamy. No, doesn't happen. On the corner houses, there's no frontal parking anywhere on College.
That's on McManning, you don't.
McMurray.
McMurray.
Oh, McMurray, well.
So you go up, so there is absolutely 0 frontal on a corner. None in Lennoxville. Not on College.
No, but on McMurray there is on that.
Go up College,
No, not College.
if you go up College near Oxford, it's all frontal parking.
Yeah, but once you get to Oxford, there's no choice. On a corner thing, on any corner street, there's no parking on the front lawn.
Well, like I said, the plan we accepted was readable, there were a lot of green and trees. So that's what I mean, we'll have to go send it to the inspector, make sure that he respects what he wants.
Okay, I'm done. Sorry, Club. I get a little annoyed with the
That's okay.
cars everywhere.
We can
Like,
have.
we have a beautiful town and we just want to park cars everywhere. Just drives me nuts. Anyways, thank you for listening.
You're quite welcome. Any other questions, d'autres questions du public? OK, donc on va procéder avec notre agenda. Donc, au point 6.1.2, demande d'approbation de PIA, l'aire d'implantation et d'installation architecturale commerciale artérielle dans l'aire Queen, donc l'entrée de l'arrondissement au 298 de rue Queen. Donc, il s'agit du centre d'auto-prévôt. C'est une demande qui a été faite.
Thank you.
OK. Une demande qui a été faite pour le renouvellement, donc la rénovation de la surface. Donc, ça a été accepté par le comité cet après-midi. Donc, ça passe sur les conseils ce soir. Et le 6.1.2, c'est la même personne, mais puis pour le même bâtiment, c'est juste parce qu'on remplace l'enseigne. L'enseigne va changer de nom. Donc, ça aussi, ça a été approuvé par notre conseil, notre CCU de ce matin. So 6.1.1 is a PAA request for arterial commercial site planning and architectural integration plan on Queen Street and at 298 Queen Street, and it's for Centre d'Auto-Prévôt. So this was a request for renovating the surface of the building, and it was approved by the committee this afternoon. And the second one is for the same building, but it's just for the signs. Again, there a sign was submitted and it was approved by the committee this afternoon. So we're up to 8.1, signature of agreement between the Eastern Township School Board and the Borough of Lennoxville. Installation of ice rink in Lennoxville Elementary School, donc 8.1.1. Et la signature de convention entre la commission scolaire Eastern Township de l'arrondissement et pour l'aménagement de nos classes de terrain de l'école de Lennoxville Elementary. Ms. Garfield.
Yes, since 2011, the city has been able to sign a contract with LES to make an ice rink on the property of LES. The city takes care of it, and So that's the agreement that we've had since 2011. But if anybody's interested to see our Planier Public this morning, unfortunately, Centennial is always one of the skating rinks. It's in the bottom 5. So we've been fighting to keep it open for at least 6 years now. But we can't go on because the numbers, it's not used a lot. The schools use it, but they don't call to make reservations. So when we look at the numbers compared to other skating rinks, it doesn't look good for Centennial. So what I suggest is use it or lose it, is what I said this morning in the Planier Public. If people don't start using it, then we can't keep justifying spending the money to keep it going, because Adult Beaver is always in the middle. So that Adult Beaver is safe, and Adult Beaver is going to be needing some money invested in the near future. So if anybody has any comments, we'd like to hear them. Depuis 2011, la ville de Sherbrooke et le Eastern Township School Board a signé un contrat pour garder la notre place à LES. Mais si les gens veulent qu'on garde, c'est important d'utiliser parce que les chiffres des usagers, c'est pas très fort à Centennial, c'est toujours un des 5 en bas de toutes les patinoires à Sherbrooke. Donc, c'est important d'utiliser, mais pour cette année, c'est secure, mais je ne sais pas qu'est-ce qui va se passer l'année prochaine.
Thank you. Merci. So 821 calendar of ordinary meetings of the Lennoxville Borough, donc 821 calendrier des séances ordinaires du Conseil d'arrondissement de Lennoxville.
Donc voilà, c'est simplement le dépôt du prochain calendrier des séances ordinaires du Conseil d'arrondissement pour l'année 2024. Notez qu'il y a 2 modifications au présent calendrier. Peut-être, André, est-ce que tu peux me rappeler les 2 dates en question?
Donc, mardi pour le mois de mars et le mois d'avril. Donc, ça a toujours lieu le mardi, sauf que ça va être le 19 mars au lieu du 26 mars et le 30 avril au lieu du 23 avril. Donc, en anglais, okay for you.
So, yeah.
1 week before in March, the 19th, and for April, it's the 3rd, 30 avril.
So it's always on Tuesdays. So if we're not here, we're usually at the city meeting. There you go.
Merci. Donc, 831, fonds dédié à l'adoption du budget participatif 2024 pour le lancement public à la fin de l'année 2023. So 831, dedicated fund, adoption of the 2024 participatory budget for public launch at the end of 2023. Monsieur Gélinas.
Voilà, je vais le prononcer avec un commentaire. So I will state the recommendation and add a short comment afterwards. Alors, considérant que la mise en place d'un budget participatif s'inscrit dans l'objectif identifié par le plan d'action 2023-2025 de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville à l'effet d'augmenter la participation citoyenne à la vie communautaire, considérant que le Comité consultatif de développement social et communautaire, communément appelé ici CCDSC, de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville, a élaboré ce projet du budget participatif dans l'arrondissement et recommande son lancement et sa réalisation tel que soumis. On a d'ailleurs Mme Paulis ici dans l'assistance qui a participé à l'élaboration du budget. Donc ici, que soit autorisé un budget participatif non récurrent maximal de 7 500 $ pour la mise en place d'un budget participatif, à même le budget du fonds dédié de l'arrondissement, s'adressant à l'ensemble de la population de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville et qui doit se dérouler sur le territoire de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville, et ce, conditionnellement à l'adoption du budget 2024 par le conseil municipal. Que soient adoptées les règles de fonctionnement du budget participatif en 2024 et qu'elles soient annexées à la présente résolution pour en faire partie intégrante. Que la direction de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville soit autorisée à utiliser le gabarit de convention d'assistance financière pour les projets retenus dans le cadre du budget participatif 2024 et qu'elles soient annexées à la présente résolution pour en faire partie intégrante. Donc, je vous lis, so I'm going to read it also in English fairly quickly. So considering that the implementation of the participatory budget is part of the objective identified in the 2023-2025 2023-2025 action plans of the Borough of Lennoxville to increase citizen participation in community life, considering that le comité consultatif social et communautaire, CCDSC, of the Borough of Lennoxville has developed this first participatory budget in the borough and recommends its launch and application. As I told in French, Madame Paulus here participated in that elaboration. That a maximum of non-recurring budget of 7,500 be authorized for the implementation of a participatory budget from the borough dedicated fund aimed at the entirety of the population of the borough of Lennoxville. That's the operating rules for the 2024 participatory budget be adopted and attached to this resolution, and that the management of the Borough of Lennoxville be authorized to use the financial assistance agreement template for projects selected within the framework of the 2024 budget that is attached to the present resolution. So I just wanted to say a few words about that initiative because I think it's truly beautiful that finally we have something like that in Lennoxville. So participatory budget is basically a form of participatory democracy that enables citizens to carry out projects using public funds directly. So in the form that we know it today, the first participatory budget was set up in the late 80s in the Brazilian city of Porto Alegre, and its aim was to give power back to the unprivileged population of certain sectors of the city by giving them power directly through a direct democratic initiative. So 45 years later, these budgets can be found all over the world. Only in France, we have around 80 cities that use a participatory budget. And here in Quebec, we have a lot of them, Montreal, Laval, Victoriaville, Trois-Rivières, Rimouski, Granby, to name just a few. So this is quite popular, and I'm fairly delighted that Borough is joining the movement. And I cannot wait to see the beautiful projects that we'll see the light of day carry out by our citizens. And so the initiative is going to be launched shortly. So stay tuned to the city's website to have the full details on how to participate. Je voulais juste dire quelques mots parce que bon, pour expliquer un peu en quoi consiste un budget participatif. Donc, un budget participatif, c'est une forme de démocratie participative qui permet aux citoyens de réaliser des projets à l'aide de fonds publics directement. Sous la forme qu'on connaît aujourd'hui, le premier budget participatif a vu le jour dans la ville de Porto Alegre au Brésil. C'était un objectif initial de pouvoir aider la population défavorisée de certains secteurs de la ville à travers une initiative de démocratie directe. Donc, 45 ans plus tard, on trouve des projets de budget participatif dans plein de villes à travers le monde. Seulement en France, il y a 80 villes différentes qui ont adopté les budgets participatifs. Au Québec, on en trouve à Montréal, à Laval, à Victoriaville, à Trois-Rivières, à Rimouski, à Granby, et j'en passe. Donc, je suis ravi que notre arrondissement se joigne au mouvement. Et puis, j'ai hâte de voir les beaux projets qui seront amenés par notre population. Donc, l'initiative va être lancée prochainement. Donc, vous pourrez alors connaître toutes les modalités de participation sur le site web de la ville. Donc, stay tuned.
Merci. Je veux peut-être juste rajouter les remerciements au groupe. Mme Paulus est ici. mais c'est quand même une équipe, un travail d'équipe qui se fait ici à l'arrondissement. Puis le groupe CCDSC, le Comité de développement social et communautaire, c'est assez unique à Lennoxville. C'est quelque chose qu'on a gardé de l'ancienne ville comme produit, et ça porte fruit, ce qu'on fait là. Donc, je tiens à remercier les participants de ce groupe-là. So I really want to thank the group of social development that we have here since quite a while. Actually, it's from the old Lennoxville that we carried on this type of thing. It's unique to Sherbrooke. We kept this formula, and it's very effective, and we're getting excellent results from these committees. So really thank you for Mrs. Hollis to be here, and the committee as a whole. And it's the formula we're using is also innovative. It's a first in Sherbrooke. So the way we're doing it may be served as a, c'est ce que je voulais dire.
Il y a présentement des initiatives qui existent à Scott.
La formule qu'on utilise, c'est ce que je dis. La formule qu'on utilise est unique. Donc, on va voir ce que ça va donner. Donc, on passe au prochain point. 9.1.1, donc aide financière aux organismes communautaires, soit 9.1.1, financial assistance to community organization. Ms. Garcia.
Yes, it's just the amounts for the assistance to the community organizations that are recognized by the city. The groups are the First Lennoxville Scout Group, Community Aid, the Lennoxville and District Women's Center, the Rifle Club, the Oxford Community Garden, Friendship Day, Literacy in Action, St. Francis Valley Naturalist Club, and the Township Sun. The amounts that are allotted to each group will be available on the website, but if anybody doesn't have internet or something, I mean, you can always ask me. I have the amounts here. Just to read them, it would be long. Donc, pour les groupes qui sont reconnus par les villes qui ont une assistance financière et technique aussi, c'est le First Lennoxville Scout Group, Aide communautaire, Lennoxville et des environs, Association des Townshippers, le Centre des femmes de Lennoxville et des environs, le Club de tir, Jardin communautaire Oxford, Journée de l'amitié, Action Alpha, le Club des naturalistes de la vallée de la Sainte-Croix et le Township Sun. Et les montants seront disponibles sur le site web de la ville, mais si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez toujours demander des questions à nous autres.
So, 9.2, aide financière aux organismes culturels alliés au programme de soutien. So, 912, 2024 assistance, financial assistance for eligible cultural organization construction.
And the cultural organization in Lennoxville is the art group, is the Lennoxville Art Group and the Lennoxville Ascot Historical Museum Society. Les groupes, les organismes culturels reconnus à Lennoxville, c'est le groupe d'art Lennoxville et la Société d'histoire et du musée de Lennoxville Ascot.
Merci. So, 10.1.1 pour l'adoption de 57 filiations, une recommandation du Séance des infrastructures urbaines. Donc, 10.1.1 for adoption, requesting circulation analysis, and recommendation from the Service of Infrastructure Urbaine. Service d'Infrastructure Urbaine in French. So this was a request pour donner l'enfant en premier, d'enlever le panneau d'arrêt selon la procédure des normes du MTQ, donc qui était anciennement MTQ, la ministère du Transport du Québec. Donc, pour l'approbation de la rue Mante en direction est, à l'intersection de la rue Charles-Lennox. Donc, faire des démarches auprès des citoyens afin d'améliorer la visibilité par l'émondage de la végétation à l'intersection des rues Charles-Lennox et Mante. Poursuivre la campagne de sensibilisation à la réduction de la vitesse sur la rue Mante. Par la suite, la situation sera réévaluée pour des mesures de mitigation de la vitesse, afin de contrer le retrait de panneaux d'arrêt. Donc, cette recommandation a été refusée par le Conseil. Donc, on a refusé la demande. Je vais dire en anglais maintenant. So the City of Sherbrooke Urban Infrastructure Services submitted a request to the members of the Borough Council to analyze and for analysis and recommendation. The following application analysis and recommendation sheet was submitted to the members of the Borough Council. It is presently tabled for recommendation to the Municipal Council. So the recommendation is to remove the stop sign in accordance with the MDQ, which is it used to be NTQ, Ministry of Transport of Quebec, standard procedures for the approach to Mount Street in the eastbound direction at the intersections of Charles Lennox Street. So after discussions of the council, this recommendation was rejected. As a follow-up to this council decision, this recommendation will not be submitted to the city Sherbrooke, which they have the right to decide on. Donc, suite à notre recommandation de refus, cette recommandation-là va être soumise à la ville de Sherbrooke, donc il est encore sujette à approbation ou refus. Donc, on s'est rendu au prochain point. Et message des membres du Conseil. Messages of councilors.
Okay, firstly, I'd like to thank the organizers of the Santa Claus Parade on Sunday. It was very well done this year. There were a lot of people out. The estimates are that there were 43,000 people along the route. More store owners along King East participated too, and it was just very well done, and there were more locals too. Yesterday started the 16 days of action of activism against gender-based violence, which will finish with the commemoration on December 6th of the Polytechnic massacre. So it's that time of year to remember that we have to keep vigilant and care of people in society, and hopefully one day we won't have any gender-based violence. This Saturday at Square Queen, of course, there's a lot of activities going on. There will be a lot of people selling things at the United Church. Last year it was just in the basement. This year it's on both levels because they had so many requests of people wanting to come to sell. Santa Claus will be at Square Queen along with some, I know the Lennoxville District Women's Center, and there will be some other information booths at Square Queen. The library will be up over the old fire station. They will have a book sale and crafts. And we have the flyers are now available. The lantern came out this week, and the information is here too. So that's this coming Saturday. Tomorrow night at the St. Francis Valley Naturalist Club, Dr. Adrian Elbert, Professor of Archaeology in the Département d'Anthropologie at the Université de Montréal. His topic will be Archaeology at the Confluence of the Massillippi and St. Francis Rivers. He will be talking about the archaeological digs that have been going on between the Addo Beaver Park and the bridge for the past 3 summers. And he will be talking about the Indigenous presence in this area too. So it should be a really good talk. Everyone's welcome. It's free. The Christmas bird count will be on December 16th if anybody's interested in participating. Jeu de Québec is still looking for volunteers. We need 2,500 volunteers, and we're at about 900 now. So if anybody's interested, it's easy to sign up, and it should be a lot of fun. Yes, there were a lot of problems with the snow yesterday. Beginning of the season is always touchy. I know that there were some breakdowns too with some equipment, so we can only go up from here. It can't get any worse. Yes, and the lantern came out this week. So if anybody didn't get one, I'd like to know. The information about the participation budget is in here too. So it's easily accessible. I will say that in Lennoxville, we've always had people who were determined, if they had an idea in mind and they were determined to get something done, they always found a way to do it. So this is just kind of going on from what we've done for the past almost 200 years. So now I will repeat in French. J'aimerais remercier les organisateurs du défilé dimanche à Sherbrooke. Il y avait beaucoup de monde, beaucoup d'enfants. C'était fun, bien organisé. Et je ne sais pas qui a organisé le météo pour dimanche, mais c'était vraiment parfait. C'était pas trop froid et c'était bien pour tout le monde. Hier, on a commencé les 16 jours d'action contre la violence gender-based. Anyway, oui, donc ça va finir le 6 décembre avec la commémoration pour le massacre à la Polytechnique à Montréal. C'est toujours le temps d'année de souvenir les femmes, les hommes aussi, mais surtout les femmes qui ont perdu leur vie ou qui ont subi la violence. Ce samedi à Lennoxville, il y aura beaucoup d'activités pour Noël. Père Noël va être ici au Square Queen avec des cartes d'information pour le centre des femmes. Et je pense que Becca va être là aussi, Rima va être là avec le chocolat chaud. Il y aura beaucoup de gens à l'Église unie pour vendre leurs produits. Et la bibliothèque va être en haut de l'ancienne caserne avec une vente de livres et du bricolage. Demain soir, à 7h, ici au centre Amédée Baudouin, ce serait le Dr. Adrien L. Burke, professeur d'archéologie dans le département d'anthropologie de l'Université de Montréal. Et il va parler des fouilles archéologiques qui ont eu lieu les 3 dernières étés entre le parc Beaver et le pont Saint-Francis. Donc, ce serait vraiment intéressant. Parce que oui, nous autres, comme ça fait 200 ans qu'on est ici, mais les peuples autochtones, ça fait des milliers d'années qu'ils sont ici. Donc, le recensement d'oiseaux serait le 16 décembre avec le truc des naturalistes de la vallée de la Saint-François et Sloan, on fait ça ensemble. Donc, si quelqu'un est intéressé, juste me contacter. Les Jeux de Québec cherchent des bénévoles pour le premier, c'est quoi, le 1er mars au 9 mars? La première semaine de mars, en tout cas. Oui, il y avait beaucoup de problèmes avec la neige hier et il y avait des bris d'équipement aussi. Donc, ça peut juste améliorer pour le reste de l'hiver. Et la lanterne a été publiée cette semaine. Donc, si quelqu'un n'a pas eu la lanterne, j'aimerais savoir. Il y a plus d'informations ici pour le budget participatif. Et pour samedi aussi, il y a une liste d'activités. Donc, oui, c'est tout pour moi.
Bien, merci beaucoup. OK. Monsieur Bélanger.
Oui, merci beaucoup. Donc, tout d'abord, un commentaire. Donc, aujourd'hui, on a eu 1h30 d'atelier huis clos et on a eu 1h30 d'atelier public. Par rapport aux 2 dernières rencontres qu'on a eues où c'était à 100% à huis clos. Donc, c'est une belle amélioration. J'espère que c'est un phénomène qui va se poursuivre. Pour la démocratie municipale, je trouve ça super important. Donc, voilà. Aussi, félicitations aux organisateurs du défilé du Père Noël. J'étais avec Mme Garfat. On a eu beaucoup de plaisir, justement, à marcher dans les rues avec le maire suppléant, M. Raïs-Quimon. J'ai Christelle Lefebvre, distribuer des friandises comme ça aux jeunes. C'était très plaisant. Donc, merci aux organisateurs et à tous ceux qui étaient présents. Aussi, félicitations à l'arrondissement, je voulais le dire. On a décidé ensemble de fournir un peu de nourriture comme ça à chaque conseil d'arrondissement. Donc, voilà, c'est une initiative que j'apprécie énormément. Donc, merci au conseil. Ensuite, félicitations aussi au département d'art dramatique de Bishop's University et à son metteur en scène invité Carlos Rivera pour la performance de La vie est un songe. C'était une pièce à un niveau de complexité shakespearienne qui était très, très, très avancé. Donc, c'est des élèves qui ont pu se cogner à cette pièce-là. Donc, félicitations pour ce bel accomplissement. Donc, il se passe beaucoup de choses, évidemment, comme ma collègue a nommé en fin de semaine. Il y a évidemment ce qu'on fait ici à l'arrondissement, mais en même temps, il y a la chorale de BU Seniors qui va avoir lieu aussi à 2h le samedi après-midi. Il y a aussi 2 autres représentations, mais elles sont combles présentement, donc le vendredi soir et le samedi soir. Aussi à noter qu'il va y avoir aussi le traditionnel Festival of Carols à Bishop's University Chapel le 9 décembre à 7h et le 10 décembre à 2h. Enfin, pour terminer, j'étais donc présent au laboratoire, à l'annonce du laboratoire quantique de M. Legault concernant Bishops. Donc, j'espère que, comme on dit en français, les bottines vont suivre les babines. Donc voilà, puis qu'une annonce officielle pour Bishops va arriver plus tôt que tard. Donc, en anglais maintenant. Donc, first, a short comment. Today we had an hour and a half meeting at Reclo, which is kind of a private meeting, and we had an hour and a half of public meeting. And so, which is a big difference because the last 2 meetings we were 100% Reclo, 100% private. So I think this is a great improvement, and I wish that this will be an ongoing phenomenon. Also, congratulations to the organizers of the Santa Claus Parade downtown. It was delightful to walk with Jennifer, acting Mayor Rice, and Rice Kibonge and Christelle Lefebvre to distribute some goodies to the young children. Also, congratulations to this borough particularly. We decided together to provide some food and coffee during our borough's meeting. So I think this is a beautiful initiative. Also, congratulations to the Bishop's University Drama Department and its Indigenous Guest Director, Carlos Rivera, for Life is a Dream, was a Shakespearean level kind of play, which the students tackled with great talent. So thank you and congratulations. Now, a lot will happen this weekend with the BU Seniors Choir on Saturday the 2nd at 2 p.m. But also, they are sold out also on the Friday evening and Saturday evening. Also, there's going to be on the 9th of December at 7 p.m. and the 10th of December at 2 p.m. The Festival of Carols at the Bishop's Chapel. I strongly invite all of you. And finally, I wanted to state that I was there during the quantum laboratory announcement of Mr. Legault concerning Bishops. And I hope that, as we say in French, that the shoes will fall in the mouth and that an official announcement for Bishop's University is coming sooner than later. Thank you very much. Merci.
I just wanted to make a comment about Reclo versus public. I consider myself very transparent, but sometimes there are conversations that we cannot have in public. So we do what we have in public and the rest is Reclo until we can go public. So it's not, one is better than the other. We do what we can in public and not everything that was done in the past was wrong. So I don't know. Just a comment like that is not very respectful. So that's all I will say.
I haven't anticipated to do a debate tonight about that.
I'm speaking a debate. If we are taken by surprise like that, I think that we're allowed to comment.
First, congratulating the council because I think that this is beautiful.
So this is becoming
conversations. I have to stop you guys. Sorry. So I want to return to Square Green, our event this weekend. If anybody wants to volunteer, actually Bishop students here. So if you want to volunteer, you can come at 9. We're preparing the site. So if you want to come and help, and we'll speak to you in French if you want it. That's help to you. Au Square Green. Donc, au Square Green, s'il y en a qui veulent faire du bénévolat, à 9 h, on commence à faire des installations et à se préparer. Concernant la neige, je commentais à Mme Garfett, c'est qu'il y a encore, je regarde encore aujourd'hui, il y a des problèmes. La gratte a passé, puis on a mis de la neige sur le trottoir. Le numéro magique 821-5858, il faut s'en servir. So, as for snow, we have to use the 821-5858. That's how they accumulate complaints, and I see it's all over the place. So, that's a way to deal with it, really. An event going on a second here. We got box cookies and squares at Uplands. It's Saturday from 10:30 to 4:30. That's a fundraiser, of course. So there's box cookies. Donc, des boîtes de biscuits disponibles au musée Uplands. Donc, c'est un événement de 10h30 à 4h30. Donc, ça se trouve être samedi, le 2 décembre, de 10h30 à 4h30. C'était ça, ok, c'est tout là. Donc, je vais peut-être juste un mot de remerciement pour M. Jasper Cottrell, who's here presently, qui est un étudiant de première année que j'ai parrainé dans le programme d'immersion française de l'Université Bishop. Donc, M. Jasper vient de la Colombie-Britannique, qui est venu ici pour apprendre le français. Il est étudiant en histoire, puis il souhaite habiter et travailler au Québec, puis voyager dans notre belle province. Donc, c'est vraiment, je crois, un bénéfice de l'université. So I want to congratulate Mr. Cottrell for his participation and for willing to learn French. It's a big challenge. So merci. And we have another students here. Do you want to state your name? What's your name? Julia. OK, well, welcome and bienvenue en français, puis bon à l'apprentissage français. Merci. Donc, on serait rendu au point numéro 14, qui est la levée de l'Assemblée. So, point number 14, which is adjournment. Thank you very much for your presence. Merci pour votre présence.